Here we need to take the derivative of the following function. We've got y equals x times sine of x, all divided by 5 plus cosine of x. Now to take this derivative, since we have a fraction in the form f divided by g, we're going to use the quotient rule. I cannot write nicely here. And the quotient rule says that this derivative is going to be of the following form. Start with the bottom, so g times the derivative of the top function, so g times f prime, minus the top function f times the derivative of the bottom function g, all divided by the bottom function g squared. Okay, so to do that in this problem, we have y prime is equal to, nice big fraction, the denominator, bottom function, 5 plus cosine of x, times the derivative of the top function. Now the top function is a product, x times sine of x, so we need to use the product rule in the numerator. So let's start by taking the derivative of x first, which is 1, and then using the product rule, keep sine the same. And then add that to x plus the derivative of sine, which is cosine. Let's make that look like an O. All right. So there is the first part of my numerator. Here's the bottom function times the top function, just derivative. Okay, now we need to subtract that by f times g prime. So f, the top function, is x times sine of x. And the bottom function, 5 plus cosine x, the derivative of 5 is 0, and the derivative of cosine is negative sine of x. All divided by the bottom, let me write this. This is f times g prime. All divided by our g squared, so that's going to be 5 plus cosine of x all squared. Now oftentimes the most difficult part of these quotient rule problems is simplifying. Looking through here, scanning through the numerators, I don't see anything that can cancel out right away. Yes, we do have a 5 plus cosine x over here, but we don't have one in the second numerator over here, so I can't cancel with the denominator. Okay, so I think we're just left to distribute the first g through f prime, so we need to FOIL. So 5 times sine of x is 5 sine x, plus 5 times x cosine x is 5x cosine x. Cosine x times sine of x is exactly that, cosine of x times sine of x. And then cosine x times x cosine x is x cosine squared x. And then the last part over here, the x sine x times the negative sine of x, that's just going to change to plus, so close to fitting it in here, x sine squared of x. And then this is still all divided by 5 plus cosine of x, quantity squared. Okay, I don't see a whole lot in that numerator that's going to simplify except for this part right over here. If you remember nothing else from trigonometry, you should remember that sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. And here, if we factor out the x, we have exactly that. We have cosine squared plus sine squared of x. So we really have x times 1. So our final answer, let me put it here in green just so it's easy to see. Our final answer is going to be 5 sine x. Wow, that's an ugly s. Let's try that again. There we go. Sine x plus 5 x cosine x plus cosine x sine x. Let's make that look like an S. It doesn't want to do that. There we go. And then plus x times 1 is x. And we have a denominator of 5 plus cosine x all squared. And we are done.